Hello, and thanks for watching this video from the CSEA Legislative and Political Action Department. In the next few minutes, we will explain the New York State budget process and why it matters to you. Every member of CSEA is affected by the state budget, whether you work for a state agency, our state's court system, a public authority, municipal government or school district, childcare, or in the private sector. The decisions made in the annual state budget directly impact your job and the services that you provide. CSEA advocates on your behalf throughout every step of this process. We examine the entire budget, testify at hearings, lobby legislators and the executive on our priorities, and work to make sure that the interests of CSEA members are protected. But let's talk about how the budget is actually put together. In December and early January, the governor makes final decisions on what to include in their budget before it is officially released in mid-January. Their decisions are based on the budget requests from state agencies, a process that begins in the summer, and the Division of Budget's input. During this time, CSEA is in constant contact with the governor's office regarding our priorities for the coming year. The governor's budget consists of 10 separate pieces of legislation. 5 of them are appropriations, which detail how much the state will actually spend on each program. And the remaining 5 are Article 7 bills, which propose new laws and amendments to existing law. Once the governor has proposed their budget, the legislature's role begins. The legislature is required to hold hearings on the executive budget that are broken up by category. These include workforce development, education, health, environmental conservation, and so on. Individuals, advocacy groups, labor unions, elected officials, and the general public present testimony to the legislature supporting or opposing various proposals within the budget. Based on this testimony and their own analysis, the legislature begins in early March to form their own one-house budgets. These proposals, which do not become law and are not enforceable, outline the priorities of each chamber before they enter negotiations with the governor for a final budget. Mid-March through April 1 is crunch time for the budget. During this time, the governor, Senate, and Assembly negotiate the entire state budget. These negotiations take several weeks to complete, and many times sessions run through the night. The state's fiscal year begins on April 1, and in recent years, the state has met this deadline with an on-time budget. However, if the budget is late, it could lead to delayed salary payments to state workers, or at its worst, a shutdown of state government. After a budget is passed, state agencies are charged with implementing the new spending plan and the new policy that was contained in the budget. We hope that you found this video interesting and learned about how the state budget is created. Do you have a topic that you want to know more about in Albany or Washington, D.C.? Then send us an email and maybe we'll feature it in our next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.